Hey, what's going on, YouTube and AMC family? All right, on this page, kind of just wanted to, I don't know, I've seen a little bit of chatter that, oh, it's going up because they're covering. No, they're not. And this is why. Let's just take Citadel, for example, one of the big short holders. Okay, these are their put options. This is how they have the majority of their short position disclosed in put options. And this is just what they've disclosed. There's more, but anyway. Um, I know they didn't cover because look what they did back here. On this last filing date, 5/21, they had 5.6 million shares shorted in form of put options at an average price of $6 a share. Okay. The next filing, it went up 48%. So that means that they doubled down. You know, um, and that's the new share total they have input options is 8,406,600,000, an average price of 33.44. Okay, so people like this, like Citadel, they're not gonna want to cover until the stock price is under this number because they don't want to take a loss. Period, or at least they want it close to that, but they probably want it that. So when it stays above, they just double down because then it brings their average share price up so their aggregate loss doesn't look as bad. That's why they can keep extending it and extending it and extending it without getting margin calls because they double down and their aggregate loss isn't as bad. That's not a negative thing. That's a positive thing for us because that just means they're doubling down. Okay, let them double down. Let them double down again and again and again and again and again and again. You know, fine with us. Because if we could stay above this level and continue to rise, then this number is going to keep rising. So the idea that they're covering now is ridiculous. They're not. They're doubling down. And the average share price for that to be here, when the shares changed, was only 48%, means that their average share price for just this transaction, not in total, but it is there, means that they put that put option or shorted around like the high 60s or $70 range. So, yeah, they're shorting the shit out of it. So don't let you think that they're covering because they're not, because they're still way away from the average share price. So they're still way in the negative. They're just doubling down so that they can continue without getting margin called for now. But as it rises, this number, they're not going to want to keep doubling this number over and over and over and over and over. And sure as hell, whoever's watching them and whoever's invested in them or loaning shares to them or whatever the case, yeah, they're not going to want that number to keep rising and rising and rising and rising, especially since the stock price keeps going the other way. Okay. Another thing I'm going to look at, watch, is, oh, you're going to be a pain in my butt. Okay, here we go. Interest ownership. Don't care about that right now. We want to go short interest. Sorry, bear with me. Here we go. Let's go to short interest. Okay, this is the thing I want to keep pointing out and stressing to people. People keep jumping on those stupid plays that show 37% short interest Yeah, 6 million shares though. That ain't nothing. Yeah, the percentage is high, but the amount of shares shorted isn't anything, so it's not going to cost them anything to cover. So they're covering right away. This is why this makes it the squeeze. 92 million shares shorted. I guarantee you it's a lot higher now. Why? You'll see. This number keeps going up. I really don't care about this number because the ones that are ranked 1, 2, and 3 are jokes. They're the market makers playing you guys. But anyway, let's scroll down to okay. See, they're borrowing. See, and I don't get this. This number hasn't dropped to zero in a long time. But you scroll down here, and oh shit, I passed it. Sorry. But look, the failures to deliver, they hadn't updated this in a while, and they just did, I guess. The failures to deliver is steadily increasing. How in the hell are there failures to deliver, yet there's available shares to borrow? It's because they don't want to borrow them. They'd rather just they could short them and do uncovered calls and puts, and that's bullshit. You know, at least if this number were at zero all the time, then maybe they could try and defend themselves and claim that, oh, well, there's no liquidity. That's not our fault. But technically, we know there's not legal liquidity, but technically they could kind of say, oh, well, well, okay, technically we kind of say, well, is liquidity if there's shares available to borrow. We know that there's really not because we're way past that, but they're not even doing that. They're doing it even though there is shares to borrow, which is bullshit. And this is just the hour chart, but I haven't seen this hit zero in a long time. But so basically the people who are trying to short it legally are starting to use this again. They're starting to borrow. When they're doing it illegally, obviously they're increasing it more and more and more. Right down here, it kind of came to a halt. At least I thought. Because they hadn't updated in a while, and all of a sudden they updated. Oh no, increasing. Failures to deliver. Look at 3307. So anything above 30, they're starting to sweat again. Just imagine what it is now at 45. I wish this was updated more frequent. Yeah, no, they're not covering by any means. All right, look at this. The short volume. Look at that short volume. That's a lot of shorts per day. Plus the failure to delivers. I mean, they're not just doubling down, they're digging in their heels. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was oh, the level of short interest we're currently at. I know this number's higher than that. I estimate it to be probably back up to this level. But even if you don't even count that, before the last run, where were we? About here? Yeah, we're getting there again, baby. I mean, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Let him short the shit out of it. Go ahead, you motherfuckers. Because tomorrow's going to be another green day. This is why I will show you right here. Let me, here. Only because otherwise it won't let me keep the camera on. All right, here we go. And this is why. Because we're going to bounce off this ascending level of support. I guarantee you it'll be green towards the end of the day. And then green in after hours pre-market. and then green tomorrow. But so far, it looks like we're going to bounce nicely off this ascending level of support. And that's just beautiful, baby. That's just gravy. So anyway, they're not covering. We're still holding. And yeah, we love it. Solidify.